Listener discretion is advised. The RPGeek Podcast is made of three friends with varying opinions, political, and religious beliefs. Nothing these three say should be taken as an attack on anyone or anything in particular. In addition, we like to say naughty words and make some jokes that may come off as offensive to some people. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to a discussions episode of the RPGeek Podcast. Today it's just me and Ryan. Jordan's unavailable, and we're just gonna sit here and shoot the shit. Just have a nice, relaxing conversation. Before this, we were talking about chicken, specifically the Tyson Chicken Factory.
Yep.
And it's just we just kind of went off the rails with it. So I figured just have a nice, chill conversation. You know, it's not often that it's just the two of us when it comes to these recordings. So
Just the two of us.
That's about as much of that song that we could put in.
Yep.
But yeah, we were talking about we talked about the Super Size Me guy.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, how familiar are you with him?
I mean,
Other than Super Size Me.
the Super Size Me, and then I saw that documentary about him making the chicken restaurant.
Yeah.
Beyond that, not much.
Okay, so he did a show where he would do like 30 days. It was a whole Super Size Me premise,
Yep.
but he would do different things.
I heard about, and I don't know if he did it or if he was making a documentary. I don't know. I heard about one of like the one with just like straight sugar diet.
That one, yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what he's done. The one that I remember watching him doing, aside from Super Size Me, was he did, could you live on, like, what's it like to live on getting paid day-to-day jobs?
Oh, okay.
Like super temp work, but you get a
Yeah.
paycheck at the end of the day. And this was back in the early mid-2000s.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, those numbers don't match up now to begin with.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of his stuff was called into question after Super Size Me because it came out that he I don't know if he faked some of it or if his research was faulty, like, or whatever. Something came out about it a while ago. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't, and that's not the problem that I have with the guy. The problem that I have with the guy was like at a point in my life where I would be willing to go to McDonald's and be like, supersize it for me, baby. Like they're gone because of that.
I know. And, you know, I had this discussion with the wife that I was like, never understood why they got rid of it. And I get it. Oh, they're health conscious, blah, blah. It is your choice to order that big one. And if I want the jumbo, I want the jumbo.
Dude, you know who did the best with that was Carl's Jr.
Oh, yeah.
So Carl's Jr., people were getting on their ass about, number one, their commercials featuring like the scantily clad women in the bikini with the American flag and the Ford truck and everything with these big ass burgers. But the other thing that they were getting behind them on was how unhealthy their burgers were. And so these people started this huge campaign about this just to go after Carl's Jr. And Carl's Jr. response was to create a burger that had more calories than what you should intake in a week. And they're like, buy it. If it's up to you to buy it. And it became like a favorite among people. Like it was getting sold out at places. Where is it? In Vegas, they have the Heart Attack Cafe.
Yeah.
And that was by a doctor who used to, the guy who owns it is a former doctor that found out that he was like, I forget if he's a nutritionist or a dietitian or whatever, but he basically was like, screw this, I'm not making enough money as a doctor. I'll make more money doing this than I was. And I don't know, have you been to Vegas at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so are you familiar with the Heart Attack Cafe?
I am not, actually.
Okay, so homework for you and everybody listening to this, go and watch the commercials for the Heart Attack Cafe. The basic premise is if you weigh over 300 pounds, you eat for free.
Oh, I'm familiar. We had a gentleman we worked with that really wanted to do that.
Yeah, they weigh you going in, And if you weigh over a certain amount, you eat for free. If you do not finish your food, you get spanked in front of everybody with a paddle. And the food is like, one burger is like 2,000 calories.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not the type to count calories at all. I think that's a ridiculous way of torturing yourself.
I am, to the point where I just like to track my high scores.
There you go. For me, I want to lose weight, be healthy, things like that. But I'm not going to stress it. Like if I eat more, I'm just going to work harder. That's
fair.
I'd rather do that.
Like last night, I ate 32 ounces of ice cream right after eating like 4 or 5 tacos. But I don't know how much the tacos went calorie-wise, but I know that tub of ice cream was over 1,300.
Hey, you know what? Every once in a while, you just got to eat a tub of ice cream. Usually, I stick to like the Ben and Jerry's pints.
Yeah, usually I'm a pint guy, but it's never enough for me.
Well, I don't want to give the brand any free recognition, but like, was it like what flavor was it?
Well, I'm a hardcore like vanilla guy all the way.
Okay.
Like I'm a connoisseur of vanilla, whether it's French vanilla, which it kind of smells, it's French, or vanilla bean or vanilla. I like straight up like old fashioned vanilla or vanilla bean. It's my favorite. I'm a very simple man when it comes to my ice cream. Give me vanilla.
I love vanilla bean.
And it was old-fashioned, like vanilla. It was Gifford's, which is great.
Okay.
It's a hometown favorite of where I come from.
Okay.
And because that brand's really notorious up there. But either way, no, that stuff is killer. And then, it's always good when you see something on sale and you're like, hey, I want to be fat right now.
Yeah, of course.
But, I was eating those tacos, and I made them overly ridiculously spicy by accident because I had an incident with my hot sauce bottle.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
And then, so I took like a scoopful of ice cream and I was like to calm my mouth, and I was like, wait, this is really good.
Yeah.
And that spoon didn't stop until it hit the bottom.
Where'd my ice cream go?
Well, what was really crazy is the wife and I started watching The Blacklist.
Oh, that's a great show.
Yeah, we just started watching it. So we're on the pilot episode.
Okay.
And I'm like 2 scoops into this ice cream.
Yeah.
It's like halfway through the episode, I finished the tub. Like, it's been 20 minutes. And my wife looks at me, she's like, you're done with that already? I was like, it was good. And yeah, but I sat there, I'm like, man, if I had udders, I would just be like squirting out vanilla ice cream right now. My stomach is filled with capsaicin, beef, and ice cream.
Oh, your plumbing must have
my
loved
stomach
you.
did not love me this morning.
That's awful.
Yeah, but
we've all been there, I think.
Totally worth it.
Oh, 100%.
Totally worth it.
I think I speak for all people with some sort of lactose issue where at some point it's worth it. Like, no matter how much you hurt afterwards or how much you're running back and forth to the bathroom, at some point, yeah, I want that friggin' ice cream.
Yeah, and like I have to like have a little breakup with ice cream. Not after last night.
Yeah.
But I have consumed so much ice cream in the last month that I'm pretty sure that like I could just like be my own soft serve machine at some point. Like I have a weakness to ice cream and Oreos.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Oreos, that's my fat food. Like if I see a buy one get one on Oreos, like that happened to me a couple months ago where there was a buy one get one on Oreos, so I got the 2 things of just regular double stuffed. I wasn't trying to be fancy. I was like, you know what? I haven't had Oreos in a bit. This should last me a while.
Yeah.
Was the thought. So I get home. I probably went shopping in the mid-afternoon. I try to avoid all, everybody shopping for dinner and everything because we've talked about this. I hate going to the store.
Yeah, I hate going to the store. I hate crowds.
So I come home with the 2 things of the double stuffed Oreos. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take one into the office and I'll be editing or whatever, or, maybe I'll live stream or whatever I'm doing. But I'll have the Oreos right here as a snack, right? I'll just pick at them, It's a whole thing. It's a family size thing of double stuffed Oreos. There's no way that this should be fine, right? I have self control, so I put the other one in the back, and I'm sitting there. I'm editing. I probably got like YouTube on or something. I'm going, and all of a sudden I feel around. Where the hell I do the thing where you pull the lid all the way back. It's like, where the hell did these Oreos go? The entire package in less than 3 hours.
Now, speaking of Oreos, yesterday I gone to the grocery store and it was like buy 2 for a price.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Not great. And they were the family size.
Yeah.
Right. So I go to Walmart and I'm like, all right, because I can usually get them a little cheaper. And they had a rollback actually on the party size, which is the even bigger ones.
I forgot that the party size even existed.
Yes.
That was a good habit that I built up where it's like, you don't need it. Just forget that it is real.
Well, so when I got on my kick recently for Oreos, like I started with a normal pack. That took me a day. And I was like, all right, I'll get a family size. Yeah, what I thought. Last me a day and a half. So I'm like, all right, I'll buy 2. Yeah, last me 3 days. I'm like, I gotta stop, man.
It's so tough.
So I'm currently like rationing out the rest of my double stuff. So I'm at Walmart and they had a rollback on the party size, but all the double stuff was gone. Mm-hmm. I don't want the regular one. No. Yeah. But they had the mega stuffs there still. And I'm like, And my wife is like, why don't you get the mega stuffs? I don't know what it is, but double stuffed is so like proportioned perfectly.
It's perfect.
It's perfectly proportioned every time, where it's just like there's a perfect amount of cream, perfect amount of cookie. Like there is nothing, you cannot beat a double stuff.
So, all right, I don't know if you're the same way, right? For me, it's either the double stuffed or the thins.
I haven't tried the thins, actually.
Try the thins.
Okay.
It's either the double stuffed or the thins.
I saw double stuffed thins too, which makes no sense to me.
Isn't that just a regular Oreo?
Isn't it just a regular Oreo?
Well, it's like the mega stuffed was like as a kid. Well, that was the thing of dreams as a kid.
Isn't the cookie thinner too?
So the thins, the cookie is thinner.
Okay.
It's a crunch.
Okay.
Like, you know how if you bite into it, I mean, I don't know if you're the type where you bite in or you pull them apart. Like I'll eat them all sorts of different ways.
Same.
Like I have 3,000 different ways of eating an Oreo. Same. You know, but with the thins, you just pop it in your mouth. You just eat it. It's a nice crunch. It's that cookies and cream crunch.
Yeah.
That you would get from like a cookies and cream ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. But the regular Oreos, it's not enough cream.
Yeah. Not enough cream.
And then the mega stuff is too much cream.
Exactly.
It's like, as a kid, the mega stuff was something of my dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, the cream is the best part.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I'm like, no, there has to be a balance. Like, too much of a good thing is a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hate the inner fat kid in me hates thinking that.
One of my very dear friends, you know him, he loves Oreos too. Yeah. But he loves the cream part. We were hanging out in my room when we were teenagers. We're playing video games. Mm-hmm. And I see him doing something in particular with this pack of Oreos that we got him. And he's taking one cookie and he's sliding every cream off of every single cookie to make this ginormous singular Oreo. And he tries to accordion this thing into his mouth. And I'm like, hey, bud, how's it going? And he just looks at me. He's like, so creamy. And I lost my mind. We still talk about that to this day. But he managed to get, and I think there's something around like 30 Oreos in a family size pack. And he managed to make a stack 30 tall of just cream. And I was like, you are a savage.
So that's the other thing, right? The mega stuffed is too much, but if I take 2 double stuffed and I just remove one of the sides of each and I put them together, it's fine. Yeah, it's so weird.
It's weird, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like the flavor profile of double stuffs is like on its own. Like,
I wonder if it's the same thing as like the seasonal Reese's, where like if you get like the Christmas tree or the pumpkin Reese's or even the Easter egg Reese's, it tastes better than the regular.
Seasonal Oreos taste better for some reason.
Yeah, although I didn't try the what was it, DJ Khaled or whoever?
No, so I'm simply talking about like the Christmas Halloween.
Oh, it's like the yellow or green. Yeah.
So, but like because like they have some weird ones. Like they had the Star Wars one, which I didn't get to try.
It was okay,
but I saw how they had like a Coke one at one point.
That one was gross.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, I'm the type. You know me. I'm the type who, if I see limited edition, my eyes light up and like.
Although a black and white Oreo, I don't know if you've ever had it, is really good, where one top is vanilla and the bottom is chocolate. That is actually really good.
You know which ones I really like, and it's actually about the time of year for them, is the lemon Oreos.
Oh, okay, the lemon blondes. Yeah.
I won't get a family size one of those.
Yeah.
I'll get like just a regular size one because it's a lot of lemon flavor.
Yeah.
But those are really good. I get those around Easter.
My buddy got me hooked on the cinnamon roll ones for a while. Those are good. But like the straight up Oreo, you can't beat it.
Yeah, the only one that's come close to me or for me is the mint.
Okay.
And
I've heard good things about that one. I haven't tried it.
I mean, if you don't like mint, you're not going to like it, you know.
Like I like mint on occasion.
Yeah.
But like I had a buddy of mine that used to just eat straight peppermint ice cream. I couldn't.
That's a bit tough.
Because not only is it really cold, but you have peppermint. Yeah. Like it's like your freaking mouth is frozen.
Yeah, you taste like Christmas. But everything tastes like Christmas.
But yeah, no, dude, Oreos remain supreme for me. I think the only thing that comes close to Oreo for me in addictiveness is Fudge Stripes.
Fudge Stripes are pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, one last thing on Oreos before we move on, because I just thought of this flavor. Yeah. Did you ever have the double dark chocolate Oreo?
No, I saw that one though.
That one was incredible.
Okay. That would make sense though.
Because it was like a chocolate, like ganache, like a fudgy ganache.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of thing. It was very good.
Although there are some flavors, they had this period of time between like 2015 and 2019, 2020 maybe, where they had these just really out there flavors that I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Like the watermelon one got me.
Did you try the Sour Patch Kids one?
I did try that one. That was gross.
Disgusting.
There was a root beer one.
That was gross.
And then there was like these other flavors, and like I would never buy the packs, but of course, like I had friends around me that are like, "Oh, we gotta try this," and I'm like, "All right, I'll try it."
Yeah, I bought every single one of them because I'm a fiend, and there was. The one that I actually threw out was the Sour Patch Kids one. That was literally the worst Oreo flavor. Because I would love to, that's one thing I would love to do is sit down and do a tier list of all of the Oreo flavors.
Oh, in sizes.
Yeah.
Because double stuff is S tier all the way.
Oh yeah, double stuff and thins are S tier.
I have to try the thins, but I would probably agree with you.
The thins, they, at least as far as I know, they come in the regular, they come in the golden, and they come in the mint. Okay. All three of them are fantastic.
Got you. I also, what is it? Oreo minis, the little minis.
Yeah,
those things are great to snack on.
Oh, yeah, they're just little cookies and cream bites.
I miss the original formula of Oreos. Like back in the 90s, I miss that original.
And Oreo O's. There's a new one, Oreo Puffs, where it's like Reese's Puffs, but it's Oreos. I saw it at Walmart. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'd rather just have the Oreo O's.
Yeah, same. It seems like they did that with cereal a lot. Like I had this old nostalgic cereal Waffle Crisp that I used to eat when I was a kid, and they finally brought it back. And I tried it; they changed the formula.
Yeah, that was sad. I mean, when we were growing up, you were able to put all sorts of chemicals in food, and you can't do that no more.
No,
remember? Are you old enough to remember Pepsi Blue?
Oh yeah.
And we no longer could have it because the blue dye was cancerous.
And then
you can get it in Korea.
That's where you could buy Oreos for the longest time was Korea until they brought it back. And then what was it? There was another one, the original French Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of it for a while and came back, which their cereal is an interesting business.
It's weird, right?
Right. Because I look at all these cereals and I'm like, now, as a kid, I would look at some of these cereals and be like, "Wow, colors! Wow, like this." I look at them as
shapes.
I look at them as an adult, and I'm like, "Man, my teeth hurt already."
I see that with a lot of them too, but man, every once in a while, I'll just get a thing of Crunch Berries.
The one that got me in the last probably 5 or 6 years was Fruit Loops with marshmallows.
Okay,
it was the marshmallows from Lucky Charms with Fruit Loops.
Yep,
that one one took my life.
Yeah, for me, my go-to has always been I still like Reese's Puffs and stuff like that. Yeah. But the Captain Crunch with berries,
gotcha.
The Crunch Berries is the best one.
My go-to for me is Cinnamon Toast Crunch all the way.
Yeah. Although I will say, every once in a while around Halloween, a good Boo Berry is pretty great.
I haven't had that one.
You've never had Boo Berry?
No.
It went away for a while, and they finally brought it back like within the last 10 years.
I mean, my go-to is probably in my top 3 would be Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and probably Apple Jacks.
So my top 3, Captain Crunch with berries, Lucky Charms, and Reese's Puffs.
Gotcha.
For the unhealthy cereals.
Yeah.
I mean, not outside of really Cheerios and Kix, all cereals are unhealthy.
Yeah.
But like in terms of what I'm going to buy if I'm going shopping, it's Crunch Berries and multigrain Cheerios because I am old.
I know. I've been getting a craving for Honey Nut Cheerios lately.
I love Honey Nut Cheerios, but there's something about the multigrain one.
Gotcha. I gotta try that one. I have seen the apple cinnamon one too that I've wanted to try.
They used to be really good back in the day, and they're awful now.
One that might take you for a loop. I love cinnamon Chex.
Yeah.
That one is actually really, really good.
I like Chex, but they get so soggy if you don't eat them quick enough.
See, I don't eat my cereal with milk.
You just eat dry cereal?
Yeah.
I mean, I do that when I'm either out of milk or super lazy.
Oh, no. I just straight up eat dry cereal.
Okay.
And without a spoon.
I could do that with certain cereals.
Yeah, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, Chex, you just throw some M&Ms and nuts in it, and you get Chex Mix. Like, exactly. Why not? But
because now that we're on Chex, Corn Chex is my favorite.
Oh,
100%.
Dude, Corn Chex is great. Yeah. They sold it to us with a video game as a kid and 90 hours of AOL America Online. So it's like, yeah, dude, Chex is awesome. Chex sent me on a quest.
Yeah. I love how our whole conversation
has been
previous to this microphone was about like crime and stuff like that. And now we're just straight food. This is great.
Well, I mean, one last thing on food, if you want to move off that topic.
I
did want to bring it up because it's been bothering me for a while.
Oh, no.
Is Pop-Tarts.
I was never a fan.
You were never a fan? Okay,
never a fan.
As a kid, I really liked the strawberry Pop-Tart. I really liked the s'mores Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
And the blueberry Pop-Tart. When I was a kid, they came out with a wild berry flavor. I wasn't a fan of that one.
Okay.
But somewhere in my life, probably I was either in middle school or early high school, they came out with the ice cream shop Pop-Tarts.
I remember that line.
And one was the mint chocolate fudge ice cream, and then the other one was like a hot fudge sundae or whatever.
Gotcha.
The mint chocolate ice cream one was the greatest flavor that Pop-Tarts ever made. Ever. You put that in the toaster or the microwave for 10 seconds or whatever, and it was the best flavor ever. Out of any shitty, not good for you thing that you could eat. And they got rid of it. And there's no plans of ever bringing that back. It was there for years.
When I was doing Pop-Tarts as a kid, I was a really picky eater. Not so much anymore. But when I was a kid, I was really picky. But something about, I think it was whatever jam or jelly that they put in the center of it, that being warm threw me off.
Okay.
I liked mine, because I grew up eating PB&Js and stuff like that. Course. So, I'm not used to hot jelly.
Yeah.
So it took me for a loop. I used to, if I did eat a Pop-Tart, it was this straight up old school strawberry with the frosting on it, but just cold. I just ate them out of the box because I was the jelly being warm was
Well, I think the best part about Pop-Tarts is you have 3 ways to eat them. Right? Is you can either toast them or / microwave them if you don't have a toaster. You could eat it right out of the package, or you could freeze them and eat them that way.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And all 3 ways are good depending on the flavor and whatever. Especially with that ice cream brand, you either ate that hot or frozen. It was the 2 greatest things in the world. Now you have they've pretty much gone back to the original flavors. I don't think there's any really fancy flavors of Pop-Tarts anymore.
No, and I think whatever fancy flavors that they did bring into the world kind of became a part of their original line now.
Yeah, I mean, you have the wild berry and the s'mores, and I think that's as far out as they go.
Oh, speaking of which, I was at the store the other day, and I'm surprised they didn't do this earlier. There was s'mores flavored Oreos before.
Yeah.
Now they're calling them s'moreos. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant.
I'm surprised they didn't do that before.
I wonder if there was a licensing thing.
Maybe.
Or maybe there just weren't smart enough people to just be like, Oreo s'mores.
S'moreos. But no, There's a lot of foods that have gotten discontinued that I am quite sad that are gone now. They are bringing back one.
Which one?
Not discontinued, but it was kind of pulled off of shelves in all of New England. I grew up drinking this sparkling water called Clear Canadian.
Oh, okay.
And I loved that stuff growing up as a kid. But they pulled it from like the shelves, but they're bringing it back to the point where it's seated on shelves down here.
Well, you know, it's gonna be our 51st state, so
yeah. But they were pulling that for a while, and I used to drink a ton of that as a kid because I love sparkling water because it's not unhealthy for you like soda, but it's just as sweet. Except I like to try to avoid the ones that have aspartame in them. Yeah, and that one doesn't. So I was like, cool. Like,
yeah, I was before I started back working out. I reached a point because my family would always buy like diet sodas and like sugar-free sodas for certain members when we would have parties just to have. And there was a point where I was like, you ever get to that point where you're like, I want to drink something, but it needs to have flavor, and everything that I know that we have that has flavor is not what I want.
Yes.
So I reached that point. That's a total mental thing.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I could have very easily just been like, well, suck it up, Buttercup. Like, if you're actually thirsty, just drink water or coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
But I went out to where we have all of our sodas and everything, and I was like, oh, 0 sugar root beer. Like, I hate aspartame. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the flavor. But there was just a point where I was just like, I just need something. And so I drank an entire thing, not all in one sitting, but I drank an entire thing of like the sugar-free root beer, and I'm like, I hate myself every time. Like, I shouldn't, like, root beer should be a thing where it's like, yeah, man, root beer floats, everybody's happy, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, as I'm drinking this, I'm just like, I hate everything about me. like, why am I the way that I am? Like, it's just bad.
Although I will say, during college life, when I didn't have a lot of money, those 70-cent sparkling waters that you can get for like, they're like 32-ounce bottles, those like got me through college.
Yeah, you know, I really, as far as like seltzer and like sparkling water, I really like anything that's got the mandarin orange flavor.
Yeah, you know, I've been getting more into seltzer lately, and Polar's got a lot of like good flavors.
Yeah, their mandarin orange is it's like mandarin orange and vanilla or something like that.
Oh, that one, yeah,
the
orange
really
vanilla.
Good.
I like their black cherry.
That one's good.
I'm a huge cherry fan, as you can tell by my Coke cherry next to me.
Yep.
But I'm a huge cherry fan, and to the point where like I love it because a lot of people don't like cherry, and I get it. Like, a lot of the cherry flavors are artificial. That's the one artificial flavor that I actually like.
I can't stand artificial peach.
Okay, fair.
So I can't do like peach schnapps or
like peach teas.
Like peach teas, I really can't do. If it's real peach, I love it. Like, I love peaches.
Yeah,
but like 100%. That. For some reason, the artificial peach flavoring,
that's fair,
just turns my stomach.
Yeah,
and I could pick it out of anything. Like, if somebody tries to present me something was like, this has peach in it, and I'm like, nope, this has peach flavoring in it.
Yeah,
it could be the most subtle thing ever. I'm just super sensitive to that.
I'm super into cherry, so like when people would in high school, like in school, would eat like the Starburst, right? They hated the red ones. Red one was top tier for me.
How do you hate?
The red one is the best one.
How do you hate the red Starburst?
I mean, like, I've always gotten this argument with people think that the pink is top tier. It's not. No, red. Red is top tier for me.
I really like, I would put the red and pink on the same tier, but yellow is the bottom.
Yeah. I like orange.
I still like yellow, but yellow's in the bottom.
And I feel like orange is pretty mid.
Orange is mid.
Yeah, it's mid, but it's, it's good. It's not good.
But if I'm going to eat a candy like that, though, I'd rather get the high chews.
Oh, high chews are fantastic.
There's not a single flavor of high chew, even out of their like specialty flavors, that's bad. All of them are good.
No, they're really good, and they actually like taste legitimate.
Yeah. Well, it's from Japan, so they don't put in a lot of that crap that we're allowed to put in here.
This is true. Man, but there's just so many things that have like obviously gotten smaller or like changed in their flavor and all this stuff.
You want to get thrown for a loop? Things getting smaller? Yeah. Watch, what was that one? The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
And you can even watch the original one. But like specifically the one with Lindsay Lohan, at one point they have Fig Newtons. Look at the size of that Fig Newton.
Okay.
It is gigantic compared to what we have now.
Oh, going back to cookies, actually, I'm going to change my top tier list from Fudge Stripe being number 2 for me.
Okay.
To Vienna Fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are pretty good.
I love Vienna Fingers. I used to love I haven't seen them in a few years now, but they were called Snackwells.
Oh, yeah.
And they were in the green package. Those things were phenomenal. Like the vanilla flavor that came off of those was like legit vanilla.
Okay.
I think they pulled them because vanilla got so expensive. Because they were using legit vanilla in them.
Probably,
and
yeah.
they were so good. But there's other ones out there that I haven't tried that I want to try. Like I've never had Biscoff.
Those are good.
I've never had them.
They're great.
Never had them.
They're I forget if they're German or what, but they're one of the imported cookies.
But we were talking about ice cream. I'll make a statement, and it's not a hot take, but it's just like
It's
wow,
a cold
you
take.
haven't. Like, but do you remember in school the strawberry shortcake popsicle?
Yeah.
Like that everybody loved?
Yeah.
Never had one.
Okay.
To this day, never had one. I don't know why I'm holding my ground on it
like
so
the
hard.
like the good humor.
The good humor.
Strawberry.
Yeah.
It's called Knobbly Bobbly in England.
Yeah, that one, they had like, what, a toffee one?
Yeah.
Or something, and then they had like a chocolate one.
Yeah.
Never had them. Ever. Not once in my life.
You just...
I don't know. I just
You just
never
don't want them.
I just never was like, yeah, I want that. No, I was the kid that wanted the little tiny vanilla cup with the wooden spoon that you would taste more of the wooden spoon than the ice cream.
We get those every year for the kids at Easter. So actually, in a couple weeks, we're gonna have some. I'm very excited for them. Those are hilarious.
Dude, the wooden, you taste the wooden spoon more than you taste the ice cream.
Oh yeah, and after you're done with the ice cream, you chew on the little wooden spoon until like it either snaps off in your mouth or it's disgusting. But no, I'm right. I like the strawberry shortcake eclairs and things like that. I think the good humor bars are really good. I'm surprised that you haven't had those, but like. Also, I'm kind of impressed because they are not good for you.
Like, and riddle me this one, Batman. I am not a huge chocolate fan. I am when it comes to like pickiness in my eating, that's the one thing that like where I get to it is chocolate.
Okay.
I love brownies.
Yep.
I love Brookies.
Sure.
Especially. I hate chocolate cake.
Okay.
And I don't like chocolate ice cream.
Okay.
And I feel like that's a lot of the reason why I avoid a lot of ice creams. But it's weird. But if there's chocolate on ice cream, like a drumstick, I love it. But I don't like chocolate ice cream.
It could just be a amount thing. Like
I think it is.
Like, so my dad hates chocolate.
Okay.
Just in general, he doesn't like it. But if certain things have a bit of chocolate on it, he's okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, he avoids chocolate.
That's how I am with olives. Like,
he hates olives too.
I don't like olives. But if there's like, like black olive on pizza, like I'm not gonna pick around it because it's like I barely taste it. Like,
oh, my dad will just pick them. He hands them to my mom. My mom loves them.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big olive guy. I'm not a big chocolate guy.
Yeah, I think my brother-in-law's the same way too. I think he doesn't like olives. I don't know how he feels about chocolate, but he doesn't like tomatoes either. So
I love tomatoes though.
Yeah.
I actually am turning into my own father, where I'll take a tomato.
And just bite into it?
And then have a little salt shaker next to me where I throw a little salt on it and just eat it like an apple.
Do it either with salt or sugar.
I haven't tried sugar, but I've done with the salt, and it's fantastic. Although, I will say sugar on cucumbers is also fantastic.
You know what else is good on cucumbers? Sriracha.
Huh. Haven't tried that one.
It's the sriracha is the spicy, like it's my go-to snack.
Okay.
I will just cut up an entire cucumber into like little like discs, and then I'll just drizzle sriracha over it, and then I'll just eat it like either with a fork or my hands if I'm feeling like an animal. The water, like the refreshing cucumber taste, mixes with that spicy chili sriracha perfectly.
My favorite 0 calorie, legit like 0 calorie snack is celery and Frank's Buffalo.
Hell yeah.
Like that stuff, it's 0 calorie on the bottle and celery is just water.
How do you feel about ants on a log? That's the celery.
I'm not a huge peanut butter fan.
Okay.
Like I like when peanut butter is mixed with things, but I don't like straight peanut butter. I think it's just too overpowering for me.
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, ants on a log is totally an American thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's you take celery, you put peanut butter in the crevice of the celery, and then you put raisins on it.
Yep.
You could if you don't like raisins, you could keep the raisins off.
I've seen people do it with chocolate chips.
I've seen people. That's too far, right? Like because by itself, celery, peanut butter, and raisins isn't that bad for you.
No.
I mean, if you're eating a crap load of it, it's probably not good. But like by itself's not that bad for you. It's a healthier snack.
Yeah, alternative.
But like if you're putting chocolate chips on it, it's like, come on, man. Like, you're just trying to hide the celery at that point.
Yeah, the vehicle is no longer the healthy part.
Yeah, another weird food. It's surprisingly not American. Are you familiar with fairy bread?
I've heard it before, but I'm not familiar with it.
So fairy bread is an Australian snack, and what it is it's I don't remember if it's toasted or untoasted, but it's bread with a bit of butter and sprinkles on it.
You know, this is probably something I would eat when I was a child, and still to this day, I'm obsessed with Jimmy's. And sorry, I still call them Jimmy's to this day. But
what's there's sprinkles, Jimmy's.
There's another one.
There's a million different names for it.
Where I come from and call them Jimmy's.
Yeah.
And that really confused my wife the first time I brought her to my home state.
Yep.
And she was getting ice cream with Jimmy's, and she's like, what's Jimmy's? And then we call it tomato sauce up there gravy. So
all right, that's just weird.
When my wife ordered spaghetti and meatballs with gravy, she was like, this ain't gravy. I was like, no, it's just spaghetti and meatballs.
Although thinking about that though, imagine spaghetti and meatballs was just like a gravy, either a white gravy or...
a brown gravy on spaghetti and meatballs would just be essentially, Swedish meatballs almost? It just with a little different flavor profile?
Pasta.
Yeah, with a little different flavor profile.
Yeah, it'd probably be pretty good.
I mean, yeah, it's almost like a weird, like, poor man's stroganoff.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It would be a poor man's stroganoff.
Yeah. But no, so like with Jimmy's, I always had like a huge obsession with them. Mm-hmm. And our local casino used to have a massive buffet.
Oh, yeah.
And they used to do Belgian waffles.
Oh, yep. I remember this.
So I would go get a Belgian waffle, and you couldn't even see the waffle with the amount of sprinkles on it. That was my dessert.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. No wonder I have teeth problems. But yeah, no, dude. And like when it comes to my vanilla ice cream, the only topping I want is Jimmy's.
That's funny.
Or I'll crush a sugar cone and put it on top. That's actually pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care for sprinkles. I don't dislike them. If they're there, I'll eat them.
Yeah.
But like, I don't order sprinkles with anything. Like
gotcha.
Jimmy's, whatever or whatever their third. There's like 5 different names for them. I can't remember.
And technically, Jimmy's is only the chocolate sprinkles.
Yes.
But I call Jimmy's regardless.
Yeah, well, it's like soda, pop, things like that.
Yeah, everything's a Coke.
Yeah, everything's a Coke.
Yeah.
Especially Coke. But, yeah, I like how we said that we were going to get off the food topic.
No,
and we just
I think
going.
we're just talking about weird food combinations now.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine about talking with food.
Yeah,
food is one of my favorite subjects in the world.
Yeah, listeners, are you hungry yet? Because we're just getting started.
Man.
So, you know what? Let's just turn this whole thing into a food episode.
Yeah, why not? So,
how do you feel about, let's get this out in the open. How do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
So I'm not one of those crazed people that will say like it doesn't belong on there.
Okay.
Except if I'm messing with my friends.
Yeah, sure. I love playing the contrarian.
I have had Hawaiian pizza. It's just not my favorite thing.
Sure.
Because it's just like the warm jelly in the Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Warm pineapple just confuses my brain.
Really? Even on like ham?
I don't know what it is. I feel like maybe it's the cheese in pineapple.
Okay.
But yeah, like even on ham, like I let it cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the only time that I've really liked warm pineapple is when it's smoked.
Okay, yeah.
I'll smoke pineapple occasionally or grill pineapple.
Yep.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken smoked pineapple and mixed it into mixed cocktails before.
Oh, okay.
And that's actually really good. But with, I don't know what it is, like warm fruit for me, because I'm always used to like pull it out of the refrigerator or
of course.
sitting on the counter. Like I'm not used to cooking it. So I feel like that's where it just gets me a little bit. And also the fibers separate a little bit and it's kind of like mushier.
Yeah. Yeah, you do run into that.
But for me, like Hawaiian pizza, it's like I'm indifferent. Like if it's there and it's the only thing to eat, I'll eat it. If it's not the only thing to eat, I would probably eat something else.
Yep.
But like, does fruit not belong on pizza? Well, for the argument's sake, then you can't put tomato sauce on
exactly.
pizza.
Tomatoes and fruit. So, yeah, for me, I love Hawaiian pizza. I will order it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it has to have bacon, not ham.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Or it's bacon and ham. It can't just be ham.
Okay.
Like that's where I
bacon on pizza is phenomenal.
Dude,
when I first discovered that when I was like 13, I would not have anything
else. I remember
else.
You and your brother went through such a huge bacon fad that
my brother was even worse than I was.
He was. But I remember you two went through a huge bacon fad to the point where our other friend hates bacon.
The barbecue,
he'll tolerate it.
The barbecue that my brother did at his house,
where it was nothing but bacon
and everything was wrapped in bacon, I think killed it.
It was
fantastic.
It was the greatest day of our soon-to-be short-lived lives. But yeah, no, it was fantastic. But he had to be off bacon for like 3 years after that.
But going back to the Jimmy's real quick, there was one time, I love them, but there was one time that I couldn't eat them for like a solid year.
Yeah.
Because my dad had this really, really old beat-up car. And it sat in our driveway for like 3 years, never ran, the whole nine. And I was a little kid, so I didn't understand it. But I was looking in the seats one day, in the back seats, and there was just all these little like mouse turds everywhere. Because the mice had gotten into it.
You thought that they were...
Well, my brother or father came up behind me. I was like, what is that? And they're like, oh, that's chocolate sprinkles. And it smelled, of course, really bad. So I'm like, I can't eat these anymore.
Oh, I thought you said that. I thought you were going to say that you ate them.
No. But like, no, because of, unfortunately, like the smell and everything like that, I was like, I can't. That happened to me. I also had my lovely father. I was like 4 or 5. I was like, 3 or 4 because my brother was like 8 or 9. And I didn't eat chocolate for like 12 years. 15 years because of my father after this, because my family had received a batch of chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And my brother wanted one and I wanted one. We had never really tried them before, or at least I hadn't at that point because I was very young. And my dad looked at me, he's like, you're not going to like these. You don't like these. Like, they're bad.
Yeah.
As he's eating them all. So I never had a chocolate chip cookie until I was like 17. I was
knowing your dad, that I could see that
every
whole
single
thing
time chocolate chip cookies showed up, you don't like these, and you would just eat them all.
That's such a dad thing to do.
Yeah, and so
like you're going to do that to your kid.
Oh, of course, but I didn't have my first chocolate chip cookie until I was like 17.
This is what
I would like every time it was put in front of me, I would refuse to eat it because I didn't like it, I never ate it.
You know what though? It's a good way to stay healthy.
I mean, now that I've had them.
Now you're a fiend.
And especially after my mom worked at that bakery.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
I am a fiend to those things.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I was like, because even my wife, when we were dating at that time, she was like, you've never had a chocolate chip cookie? And I was like, no, I've only had sugar cookies because I don't like chocolate chip cookies. And then my dad one day brought up that story in front of me when I was like 17. And I was like, wait a minute.
You lied to me.
Have I never had one? And we started getting in this conversation, and we had realized I had never eaten a chocolate chip cookie for like 17 years. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I tried one. I was like, what the?
Dude, your dad literally gaslit you into eating slightly healthier from a young age. That is fantastic.
One thing that I did fall in love with, though, as a kid that had chocolate on it was fudge sticks.
Those are good.
Those, and the peanut butter ones in particular.
You remember the kangaroos or whatever, where it was like the little breadstick things.
Man, I haven't seen those in a long time.
They came back recently.
Yeah, the Dunkaroos.
Yeah, the Dunkaroos. Yeah, that's what it was.
Now I remember those. I haven't had those. I think I did try when they came back out, and the cream was different.
Yeah, well, you know what? How much of that is the flavor actually different, or has
probably your taste buds
changed?
Yeah, because I mean, kids, all they want is sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all they really crave for. But like me, like I don't eat a lot of candy like anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat like chocolates sometimes, like Reese's or Kit Kat.
Rolos.
But I don't eat a lot of candy.
Mm-hmm.
But the other day I just found myself craving nothing but like gummies, whether it was gummy bears, gummy worms, whatever. I was so infatuated with needing to eat a gummy. I went and took my vitamin C supplements that are gummies because I needed to get that craving out of my body.
Yeah. You ate all of them? Or?
No. I would turn orange at that point.
Well, I mean, so realistically, when it comes to things like vitamin C, gummies and stuff like that, don't do this.
Yeah.
Follow the directions on the thing, but you can have more than the 1 or 2 a day. Literally what you'll do is you'll just piss out everything else.
Well,
it's not bad for you.
Oh,
Your body will absorb a certain amount and then it'll release the rest.
I wish you told me that before I didn't follow the directions on my Fiber One gummies.
Well, Fiber One's a much different story.
Yes, and the one day I was like, I was having really bad stomach ache because I know I hadn't, used in a while. So I was like, oh, I'm going to eat half of this jar and I'll be fine.
No,
I wasn't. I might as well have just drank straight magnesium.
You might as well have.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, that's not good. No, fiber is different.
Yeah,
but also, I mean, the more fiber you have, it probably wasn't a bad thing.
No, and I can tell you that my metabolism was on par. Every meal that I ate was done and gone in 20 minutes.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to just go out and buy a crap load of Fiber One and just go to town every meal of the day.
Oh, I remember the Fiber One actually, like the company, makes chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, they do.
And I fell in love with them. And I had too many. And they also make a cinnamon bar.
Yep, that one's good.
Dude, when we were actually working together, I one night ate too many of those. And I'm just sitting in that room going, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Come help.
Help, pretty much.
Yeah. Fiber One, if Fiber One came out with different meals for the day, like Fiber One, even if it's still the bars, but it's like, this one tastes like chicken or turkey and gravy. It's like, all right, well, I'm just going to replace all of my meals with Fiber One. I'll be healthy.
Okay. Speaking of weird things, have you ever, I think it's a company called Hers or Hares, Herrs. It's a chip company.
Yes.
They make some chips that are too accurate to the flavor of what they're projecting. Like there was one that was like a prime rib one.
Yeah.
It tasted identical. I couldn't eat them because of the texture of the crunchiness, knowing that it tastes identical to what this actually was supposed to taste like. It throws me off so hard.
Well, so the interesting thing about that is if you have it and nobody's done it yet, as far as I know, because it's extremely unethical. But if you have a slight electronic device that, say, could pinpoint certain receptors on your tongue, you could make yourself taste whatever the hell you want.
It's true.
If it hits those receptors in the right way. Now, instead of giving you the actual meal, they figured out a way to do that with chemicals and other flavorings and things like that. So that's why you eat the chips where you're just like, this literally just tastes like I went out to a steakhouse or what, or, oh my God, I'm eating chicken and waffles, but it's in chip form, or crisps for our friends across the pond. But realistically, flavor could be artificially manufactured chemically,
100%.
But it can also be done electronically.
I could see it.
And if that where's the guy with the little thing that you just stick in your mouth, you zap yourself real quick and you're just tasting chicken française because you have a craving for that. You're on a diet and you want to save money. They killed that guy. That guy invented that, and all of the companies in America just shot him in the street, just one after another.
Okay, so still on food, but we've watched a lot of movies and shows and all that stuff. What would be the one movie or one show that you would draw I want to have that in my life, kind of food or device or whatever it may be, is if it's pertaining to food? I have mine.
Okay, yeah, you go first.
So mine would be Back to the Future 2 and the hydrator.
The hydrator
for the pizza. I want one of those. So, if I have small discs of pizza in my freezer that I can have 30 freaking pizzas and it's done in 5 seconds, 100%.
I'd probably go with a Star Trek replicator.
Okay.
Where I could just be like, make me a martini or whatever, and it just popped, the glass and all, just popped out, and I'm like, yes, now make me an Earl Grey tea. I'm going to sit here and quote Shakespeare.
Although I will say, as a kid, like there's been a couple scenes in my life that I look at them and I lose all of my appetite or I want to eat food. Like there's a scene from Home Alone where they get all the pizzas, right? And they're all eating.
Yeah.
Like that made me want to like eat food.
Yeah.
But then if I compare that to like Matilda.
Oh, yeah.
With the chocolate cake.
Yep.
I look at that and I'm like, I never want to eat again.
Yeah. So. It's really funny how the light, that's the lighting.
Yeah.
And it's the face of enjoyment. Because everybody's enjoying. Well, it wasn't a real pizza company. I think it was just some random pizza company. But it was the lighting. Everybody was happy except for Kevin.
Yeah,
everything was going great. But then you look at the Matilda scene. It's super dark. Yeah, and it's just this miserable fat kid just being forced to eat cake
in the grossest way,
in the worst way. Like like. You look at that, compare that to like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one. And where it's like everything in this room is edible. And so they're just going off, they're just picking flowers and eating them. It's like that made you hungry. Yeah. Because it was bright colors, it was very nice. Everybody looked like they were enjoying themselves, right up until Augustus got sucked up. And then I love that book. I love that movie.
Of course.
Even the one with Johnny Depp's okay.
That one's all right.
But I love that movie for the sake of everybody just watched some 6 to 10-year-old German kid, get sucked up through this pipe while practically drowning in chocolate, and they're just like, and moving on with the tour. Like that would, because he was the first one out.
Yeah.
And that was the funniest thing. It's like these kids are getting picked off one by one by this deranged psychopath chocolate maker, and everybody's just like, yeah, all right, well, kid was an asshole. Like,
a bit off topic, but still the same movie. Willy Wonka, the scene where they're going from the small, I think it's the dock to the chocolate, that room where everything's edible, where he's having like these hallucinations.
Yeah, where he's just
terrified me as a child.
Yeah, it was a very creepy scene.
Yeah, and Gene Wilder, of course, is a master.
Yeah,
so he made it really.
Did I ever tell you I bagged his groceries?
Yes, you did once. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I used to work for a grocery store, and I traveled for one of the places to where he lived, and he came through, bagged his groceries, and I was like, is that Gene Wilder? Yeah, he comes in here all the time. He's great. So that was an incredible moment for me.
That's cool.
But he was very nice. Something about that movie is just, it's a great movie.
But
although, what was his name? Grandpa Joe, just laying in bed, all horrible, and then his grandson literally gets him a ticket to a better life.
Because of that movie, though, I actually wanted to try the cabbage stew, and I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It's not bad, it's not great, but I kind of messed up and didn't flavor it at all, and just threw cabbage in water. And
white people cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. Until I learned how to actually.
Until you learned what spices were.
So
why we sailed across the ocean.
So we've skimmed on the Hawaiian pizza and obviously the pizza for Home Alone. What's your favorite
pizza?
Pepperoni
and bacon.
That's mine too.
Yeah.
Oh, hands down.
And if I really feel like having a heart attack, and I might lose you on this one, I've put anchovies on it before.
Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah, I had anchovies when I was in college. One of my friends really liked having anchovies on pizza. I was like, all right, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. And I was like, okay, this is a good kind of salty. So that all started there. But no, the pepperoni and bacon, I like it when it's that crispy, where it's like the pepperoni's so crispy it like turns into a cup.
Yeah.
You get that. And then when
you see the cup pepperoni, you know it's going to be good.
Oh yeah. Back when I was in college, and we actually get commercials for them here. Marco's Pizza.
I've seen.
Yeah, it's not one anywhere near us.
Okay.
I've looked. Yeah. But they have this pizza, or they did. I don't know if they still do. Where it was they call it the Italian pepperoni and regular pepperoni. The Italian pepperoni was the one where it crisped up, and then the regular one was like the discs, like the regular ones. Yeah. And that was one of their specialty pizzas, which had both. And that was really good.
I'm thinking about, and I don't know how it would go, but I'm actually thinking about like making my own pizza at home.
Okay.
But and it technically already smoked, but it's not cooked. I want to smoke bacon to its like cooked point, but I want to do like an applewood bacon.
Okay.
And throw that on a pizza, like a smoked bacon on an applewood pizza. And this Easter, actually, technically the same thing. Ham is already smoked.
Yep.
But I'm gonna double smoke it.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna smoke it with the cherries but instead of using regular cherries, I'm gonna try to use the Luxardos.
Oh,
and
it's gonna be the most expensive pizza.
But I'm gonna smoke Luxardos.
So
I'm interested to see how that turns out.
I mean, we had our buddy made a cherry cheesecake using the Luxardos, and that was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Luxardo just takes everything to the next level.
Yeah, and they're
$15 cherries.
They're absolute bastards too, because we tried to replicate it, and the only way that you could replicate that is you buy their alcohol, their brand of Luxardo, like whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, you sons of bitches! Like it's the only way to get that replicate. But I mean, at that point, you have that whole thing, and you're like, all right, I can mix and match as it goes, like their whole syrup and all that. Yeah, it's. Those are the best.
I'm gonna try to conserve. Like usually, like I let my drippings fall off
of
and everything, but I'm gonna try to conserve my drippings this time to make a ham glaze out of it. That should be good.
Yeah, that sounds
It'll
incredible.
be a smoked glaze on top of the ham. That'll be really good.
That sounds really good.
But I've gotten really into smoking in the last year, and I'm now going to, like, this year is probably going to be the year of the smoke. I'm just gonna smell like a campfire wherever I go.
That's fine.
But I love smoked foods.
Just know that if you come over after smoking something, you better bring some of it.
Hey, I did bring you some.
You did. It was fantastic. I ate it all in one day.
So, and I'm doing this little experiment. And I actually asked my brother about it. For anybody that doesn't know, my brother is in the food industry, so he's got some knowledge to it.
Yeah, he's worked with some of the top chefs too.
Yeah. So, you know how they sell like the corned beef brisket in like the vacuum sealed packs? Well, I happened to be at the grocery store, and of course they're having a super sale on them because right after St. Patty's Day, and they're trying to get all the inventory out. So it was like, I think it was like $1 a pound. Like, it was cheap.
Hell yeah.
So, but they're in these like, they're from a company, they're in these pre-made vacuum seal ones, and they usually use point brisket on the corned beef. But I happened to find a square cut in one of the packages, which is not, they're all branded points, but I found like a flat in one of them. And I was looking at the butcher who happened to be right next to me. He's like, that's a flat. He's like, I don't know how they managed that one, but it was a flat. It was $5. So I was like, all right, I'm taking this home.
Yeah.
Now the seasoning packet was separated from the actual beef, but of course it's in a salt solution.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that brisket and I'm actually going to soak it in like water for a couple hours. And I'm going to try to smoke it.
Okay.
But being that the solution has dug into it that hard, I might season it and make a smoked pastrami at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take that and try to make a smoked pastrami out of that one. I think that would be really cool.
I love Reubens, dude.
Oh, dude, Reubens are the best. You know what I haven't had, though, is a Cubano, because I was never a fan of mustard for a long time, but now I'm starting to really get into mustard.
There's so many different types of mustard. Like,
yeah, and I'm actually starting to get into like all of them.
Yeah. Mustard's great.
The pulled pork that I made recently that you tried some of, I smothered that thing in Dijon mustard before I smoked it because that acid just really digs into it.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And it's really good. Yeah, no, it's weird. I was never a mustard guy.
Yeah.
But now I'm really starting. I still to this day will never be a mayonnaise guy. I hate mayonnaise.
I love mayonnaise, but I prefer Japanese mayonnaise because it's actually different with how it's made.
Is it like the process is different or like the eggs?
I'm not exactly sure what is different with it. Mm-hmm. How it differs. I want to try and make it at home, but it's vastly different. Like it's sweeter almost.
Oh, interesting.
And it's really good. If you've ever had takoyaki, they'll typically put it that sauce, like the creamy thing that's on there. Yeah. That's the Japanese mayonnaise.
I don't mind mayonnaise-based sauces.
Yeah.
Because, like, if we're going to talk about mayonnaise-based sauce, there's the bloomin' onion sauce. And that stuff is to die for.
Yeah.
And then you have,
you
like...
can buy just the sauce.
Yeah. And then you have, like, Chick-fil-A sauce. Mayonnaise-based. Like, and all these different things. So, I don't mind, like, mustard when it's used for a base, but straight mayonnaise, I cannot do it. Like, it's just... Nah. There's something about it for me.
Yeah, I can't do straight like American mayonnaise.
No,
I mean, I could do like if I don't ever just sit there with a spoon and eat mayonnaise like some sort of weirdo. But like,
I've known somebody that's done that.
I know people who've done it too, but I'll put it in with like tuna. If I'm making tuna, I'll put it on a sandwich. You know, but like on fries, I can't do it. I've tried that one. I can't. Okay. It's gross.
I've seen people. Okay, how do you feel about this one? We're talking about pizza.
Yeah.
People dipping their pizza in ranch.
I hate it.
I hate it too. Thank you.
So first off, I hate ranch.
Yeah, so do I.
Outside of Midwestern ranch.
Okay, yeah.
So
I can
like
see why.
The very creamy, like homemade kind of thing. And like when you make ranch at your house, and you follow the recipe, it comes out the Midwestern ranch. Yeah. It's not the Hidden Valley. Yeah. Ranch. I fucking hate Hidden Valley ranch.
I hate ranch.
It's I have hot takes on ranch.
Same. I actually like despise ranch.
Yeah, it's like every woman I know loves ranch.
The only ranch that I actually do kind of like though is Chipotle ranch, and it's very minimal.
So that's the thing is it's subdued.
It is subdued, right? Because I like the Chipotle flavors. I think I'm a heat guy.
Yeah,
and Chipotle's not a lot of heat.
Yeah,
but Chipotle's got one of the best pepper flavors.
Oh, it's by far one of the best flavors.
Like Tabasco Chipotle, I will put that literally on everything.
Yeah. Frank's, I'll put that shit on everything.
If Frank's made a Chipotle, oh man, I would never go back.
Yeah, you have that nice creamy liquid one.
Yeah,
with their buffalo, the Frank's buffalo.
Frank's buffalo is the die for.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. I am just because of the world and the economy, like $5 a bottle is getting a little much.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
I mean, that's how like A1 used to be, like even back when. Now that stuff's like $9 a bottle.
Yeah, but A1 is such an easy thing to replicate.
Yeah.
You could just go and buy anything that says steak sauce, and it's the same thing.
W sauce.
Yeah.
So actually, with that in mind, we were we kind of tipped on it, but like we were talking about the blooming onion and talking about sauces. Let's talk about favorite appetizer. What's your favorite side? Not like your entree, but like if you had to go somewhere and you're like
ordering a side.
And you're ordering a side.
Honestly, it depends on where I go, but typically, and we're talking, so typically I'll do both. So like for free sides, because there's always like the premium sides, which is like $1 or something extra,
okay.
Right?
Yeah, no. So I'm talking about like appetizer, like before your entree.
Yeah. So not even like if you, what do you want on the side of your entree? So like an appetizer.
Appetizer.
Okay. Are we counting soups and salads?
Yeah, you could do that.
All right. So I'll give you kind of a list here, like salads, Cobb salad.
Okay.
I love a Cobb salad.
Okay.
Caesar's also really good.
Caesar's great.
But, they never come out with enough knives with the Caesar salad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for those of you who get that joke. Yeah. But soups, I really if it's not New England style clam chowder, French onion soup are for soups.
Okay. French onion's killer.
But there's some people who make it horrible.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. You have to have the big freaking toast boat with cheese on it.
Yep. And then for like an actual like appetizer thing, typically I'll go with like nachos. Honestly, with a lot of places, you can tell the quality of the food based on how they make their nachos.
Fair enough.
And because nachos are such a simple thing to do, if I can make it at home, that place is probably going to be average.
I used to be able, when I would go to like a fancy restaurant or something that had like bars, I used to measure bars based on how they can make an old fashioned.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
A lot of people don't like old fashions.
I love I used to love old fashions.
I should say a lot of people our age, like or younger.
Yeah, but they're fantastic.
Like for me, the old fashioned's the way that I go. And if you have a fancy old fashioned, I'm right there. I went to with I think it was my mom's birthday. We went to this place where they had a pancake old fashioned.
Oh, interesting.
And it came with bacon and everything as the garnish. And
interesting.
It was it tasted. It was incredible. I was done in like 2 seconds.
I went to one because you know how it is. It's got the orange peel and it's got the cherry in it. I had a chocolate old fashioned, a dark chocolate old fashioned once. That was phenomenal. Yeah,
my mom has figured out the perfect ratio for everything.
Gotcha.
For the old fashioned. So now we've reached a point where we're trying different bitters. We're trying different liquors and different like garnishes. She did a gingerbread one.
Okay.
That had like black walnut bitters and like a chocolate, like simple syrup kind of deal. And it was fantastic. Dude, like I know you don't drink anymore, but it's
they were fantastic. That was my go-to.
Yeah.
Because like you can measure a bar based on that.
You can, because it's a classic.
It's a classic, yet it takes a little effort to make.
Just a little bit. And dude, the thing that pisses me off is when they come with the gigantic fucking ice cube to make it look like the drink is full, but really you have like a shot in there. Like that drives me up a wall.
And sometimes I'll actually request my old fashioned be neat.
Yep.
So that I get more out of it.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah. The big cube can be nice, but the big cube is nice when you're ordering like a double of bourbon or something like that, right?
And that's the thing. It's like something that all you're adding to it is water. The big cube is fine.
Yeah, but like if you're trying to control volume with a big cube, like that,
and so many, it's a lot of these artisan crafts places that'll do that.
That charge you $18 for one. And
it's $18, and you get half a drink. It's mostly ice.
Yeah, you get half a drink. But anyways, going back to our sides. Okay, so you had French onion soup and your Cobb salad.
Yep.
And then any others?
So
you did your soup, your salad, but like if you're beyond soup and salad,
so like nachos is one.
Nachos, right?
I don't know. It depends. If something's interesting sounding, that's typically like for me. I always when I go out to eat, it's always like, what are the fish options? Like, so if they have like something with tuna in it, like ahi tuna or something, I tend to look at that.
Okay,
it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to get it, but I'll look at what that is,
of course.
But most of the time when I go out, a lot of times I'll just order the appetizer as the meal.
I've done that plenty of times. I think if I had to pick like a general favorite appetizer, and not the sticks, but I like a piece of fried mozzarella, like the big chunk of fried mozzarella. Yeah. I will die for a piece of fried mozzarella.
So there was a place that used to exist. It's now since changed owners. And it's kind of gone to hell since then. But they used to do the triangle fried mac and cheese.
Okay.
So it would be this big mozzarella triangle, but filled with mac and cheese in the middle. That was incredible. And they would give you like a tomato soup dip on the side. That was incredible.
So mine is kind of nachos, but in the last like 5 or 8 years, I got really hooked into spinach artichoke dip.
Oh yeah, dude,
that stuff is awesome.
I'll have to make you. I make a pretty good one.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, no, I love like spinach artichoke dip now. It's just so good.
It really, and it's not bad for you, so you could just kind of sit there and eat it.
Beyond the cheese,
cheese. But I mean, as somebody with lactose problems, cheese isn't a problem for me.
I mean,
it's a problem for everybody else.
Speaking of like lactose issues, like I never had lactose issues. I tell you about how much ice cream I eat.
Yeah,
I never had lactose issues, but as I'm getting older,
so that happens to a lot of people. As you get older, you develop because we are the only animals on this planet that have milk products after infancy.
Gotcha.
Every other animal grows out of it. They start eating whatever and they stick with it. We decide, no, this is good. and we not only do that, but we drink the milk of other animals and things like that. So there's a few things like I'll get lactose free milk for two reasons. One, it avoiding any problems, and two, it lasts so much longer. If you look at like just a regular thing of whole milk and then you look at the lactose free version of that whole milk, the regular whole milk will be bad in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The lactose one is good for like half a year. Or the lactose free one, I should say, is good for like half a year.
Because of the cream content.
It's because when we do the pasteurization, we put the lactic acid into the milk.
Oh, okay.
Your body naturally makes lactic acid. It's what we use to break down the milk.
Yeah.
So when we put extra in there, that's where the problems start to come in.
Gotcha.
But the lactic acid breaks down dairy.
Gotcha.
So when you put lactic acid in a dairy product, it's not going to last as long. So when you have it without it,
because you're breaking it down.
When you have it without it, it lasts so much longer.
Gotcha.
And
I've had unpasteurized milk before. It's interesting.
Yeah, so it's better than bagged milk.
It is.
Canada. But no, and I'll shill for these guys, and if they want to sponsor me, I'll be happy to do anything, because it's not just milk that causes lactose issues. It's also it's any form of dairy, specifically cheese.
Yep.
Cabot cheese out of Vermont.
I love Cabot.
Is the best cheese because none of it has lactose in it.
100%.
It is 100% lactose free. It is
so good.
It is. I will not. If I make homemade mac and cheese, it's several bricks of Cabot.
Yeah. Cabot is the best. I mean,
and Velveeta if I'm feeling spicy.
Growing up up there, like Cabot was like the thing.
Yeah.
Like we had, and I remember coming down here, and being like, "What are these brands? I've never seen these brands before." Because all we had up there was like Cabot, Hood, and Giffords for dairy.
Yep.
Like that was it. We were so into Hood that we would have blimps flying around the state that just had Hood on it, and we were like, "Okay."
Yeah, we would occasionally get the Hood blimps too.
Yeah, and man, that was like the only 3 dairy brands, because a lot of that state too, and the neighboring state, was all dairy farms.
Mm-hmm.
It was all local dairy farms. I mean, even when I was a kid, like it wasn't like the metal crates, but it was like the plastic milk crates that you would see from like dairy farms on site, and they would deliver milk to your house.
Yeah,
like it was awesome.
Have you, as an adult, or even when you were a kid, have you done the tour at the Cabot Cheese Factory?
I have not.
Highly recommend it.
Gotcha.
Number 1, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And 2, from here it's like a day trip.
Yeah, of course.
And 3, at the end they have a gift shop filled with all Cabot products.
Oh, nice.
A lot of which you cannot get outside of the state of Vermont.
That makes sense.
So it's a fun. I love doing tours of things like that. Like I did one for Blue Moon Factory in
my wife did the Ben and Jerry's
Denver. Ben and Jerry's I've done. That's a good one. Yep. I've done that one a couple of times. It's a lot of fun. I think I've even done one of those Yankee Candle.
The one in New York. Like the actual like factories out in New York. I've been out to that one.
I think it was in Mass, the one that we went to.
Okay, yeah, I know which one. No, you're right. It's the one in Mass, but it's like almost like a village.
It's huge. Yeah. That one's pretty neat. They even have cool. like a dye your own candle station.
Yeah, and make your own candle.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like we did that as a kid.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. But there's a whole lot of really neat.
There is
things like that.
No, 100%, and especially like around here, like our area is nothing but traffic and food. Like
we do have some, that are around us, but yeah, a lot of it is we're a food hub.
Yeah. Like our side of the country, especially, like is just the amount of fairs and carnivals and food. It's like you can't go 3 miles without seeing something to eat.
Yeah, the only place that outfoods us is the Midwest. Our less angry cousins, if you've never been to the Midwest, picture New England, the same weather and everything, but everybody's very nice. Whereas people from the Midwest, if you're listening, picture where you live, but everyone's extremely angry. Like we're the same. Just polar opposites. Yeah. And like the best thing about the Midwest is Culver's. Have you ever been?
I've saw a Culver's actually out in Florida, but I didn't get a chance to go.
Oh, I didn't.
Yep. There's a Culver's out in Florida.
So they have this thing called the cement mixer. You've been to Dairy Queen. You know how they do the thing where they flip it upside down and back really quickly.
Yeah.
Culver's doesn't need to do that. It could be 90 friggin' degrees and turn this thing upside down and just hold it and it will stay together. Literally, if somebody my size went there and said, I want a large cement mixer, they would take a look at me and go, no, you don't. My dad went and he's like, I want a large. No, you don't. A medium? No, you're getting a small. and he was sitting there all pissed off because he was out working out there. He's all pissed off eating it, and he's just like doing everything in his power to just be like, I could finish this. Oh Jesus! And he'd just be going. And so I've been to a Culver's, and I was like, no, give me a medium. Like I wasn't backing down. I was like, I want a large. No, you're not getting a large. Fine, give me a medium then. Whatever. Like I'll prove you wrong. I was dying about 10 scoops in. It is the greatest, worst thing I've ever had. But like you're just sitting there, you're like, oh my God, how could there be more?
No, I'm an ice cream fiend though. Like I could do it. I can eat a lot. I went to Friendly's once, and I remember getting like the 12 scooper and just eating that whole thing.
I don't like Friendly's.
I'm not a huge fan of like their food per se, but their ice cream.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, their ice cream's good.
I mean, I feel like, and personally, this is just my personal opinion, I feel like that's the only reason they're still alive is their ice cream.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They need to go back to just being an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
They actually, it's very sad. Friendly's back in the day actually beat out other places that were exactly the same as Friendly's, but those places were actually better. Friendly's just had the better marketing and everything, and it just worked out for them.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, their ice cream is killer. I mean, I love their ice cream. It's got like, because I am not a soft serve fan. I like my ice cream like a brick.
Okay.
Like I can like put it as a part of the foundation of my house, kind of like hard ice cream.
So you would love Culver's then?
Probably, because I actually like when I come home, I have like a deep freezer in my basement, and I will put my ice cream immediately in there, like until to the point where I can like knock myself out if I accidentally drop it or break my toe if I drop it. It takes me like a couple ice picks and dynamite to get it out of the container.
Yeah,
but it's fine. It's totally worth it. Because the one thing that will make me so angry is if I scoop ice cream, it's soft. I put it in the bowl. By the time I put my jimmies on there, it's half melted. No, I don't want it.
Yeah, like, I like soft serve, but I also understand where you're coming from. Where it's like if my ice cream is melting and it's not like I'm not eating it on a 90-degree day, like outside, like
it makes me angry.
Yeah,
like I bought this ice cream. I want to consume it as ice cream, not sweet cream.
There's so many new ice cream shops that have opened up around us.
Yeah, there is.
There's like 5.
There's a new Nitro one that I want to try. That one that's right around the corner.
Yeah, that one's really
my buddy's mom actually owns that one.
That's cool. They have weird hours.
They do have weird hours.
But no, the place is really neat. But like, there's so many that are opening up.
And personally, for me, I like their ice cream, but I think they're overrated as Cold Stone.
Well, yeah,
I think it's just overrated. Like it's the Starbucks of an ice cream parlor for me.
Yeah,
like it's good, but like the amount that you're charging for this is obviously like it's just margin attack at that point.
Yeah,
like
and that will be both of our opinions unless Cold Stone wants to give us a bunch of money. In which case we'll be like, hell yeah, dude, Cold Stone. I'll sell out for ice cream. It doesn't matter which one
when
it is.
It comes to ice, dude, if you gave me all you could eat ice cream, I would literally look like I forget her name, but when she turns into the blueberry in Willy Wonka.
Oh, Violet.
Yeah, Violet. Yeah. Like. That would be me. You'd have to roll me across the floor.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like Cold Stone is good. Like it's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
But it's just for their prices.
Yeah,
it's a little pricey.
Like I'm kind of against franchises when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially ice cream parlors.
Okay,
unless I'm buying it in the grocery store.
Okay,
like I will buy franchise ice cream at the grocery store.
So like the Friendly's ice cream,
Ben and Jerry's, Haagen-Dazs, stuff like that. But if I'm going out to like get ice cream, I want to do it at a mom and pop parlor. Yeah. Personally. Or like a snack bar kind of thing. Like even if it's just soft serve, like I'd rather give my money to like
they're serving me Friendly's, that's what I want.
Yeah, right. Because like we have a local parlor here we're familiar with, the one over near the school.
Oh, yep.
And all their ice cream is Giffords.
Yeah.
But I love Giffords.
Yeah.
And I can buy Giffords at the store, but sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm just going to go there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's nice too. Like sometimes just getting one just from an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Like it's just a novelty.
I remember,
and I feel like that's the easiest way to control yourself.
Yeah.
When it comes, let me just get a large cup or whatever. And it's like, all right, so you have a large cup of ice cream. It's still not good for you, but it's so much better than being like, I'm just going to eat this entire pint of Ben and Jerry's or 32 ounces of
Giffords. Oh, Giffords. That was great. So, the wife and I, for the honeymoon, we went up to Lake Winnipesaukee.
Yeah.
And we were up there for a few days. And then we went even farther north up into like the White Mountain region. Mm-hmm. So we were there and we had a couple days before like we were back into like society. So we were supposed to be coming home that day, but we were like, no, let's drive further north. And you get past the White Mountains, there's like nothing out there. But we were driving. We finally get off at the exit because we started seeing exit signs for Canada.
Yep.
We finally get off of this exit and, I was getting gas and I look over and I see like It's like one of these classic like main streets, like, you know, like that you would see in like the 50s, right? There was like nice old cars outside and everything. They had this ice cream parlor. And I walked into this ice cream parlor, and literally the ice cream parlor, it's all made of wood. Like they had like the ice cream bar that's like this beautiful, looks like an alcohol bar, but it's an ice cream bar.
Okay.
And everything was either chrome or wood.
Oh, like the old like malt shops almost.
Yeah. And so we stepped in there, and I was like, I'm getting ice cream here.
Yeah.
Like I can't. And then of course they made like the bubble cones, like the waffle bubble cones. And so the wife gets this massive one. And what I love about mom and pop places is that like typically with franchises, there's like a policy with like they order a large, it's 2 scoops. They order a medium, it's 1.5 scoop, right? When you order like a big serving at like a mom and pop place, they will pack that thing until it will not fit anymore.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And so I ended up with this, it wasn't an ice cream cone, it was an ice cream torch. It was amazing. And I'm just sitting there just gobbling this thing up because my weakness is ice cream. Something in front of me could really need my attention, like an emergency, and my diversion would be ice cream. Like, I have to go save this man from, like, you know, a car fire. If somebody has a bowl of ice cream, I'm like, ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, that dude, ice cream's my weakness.
Yep. So we've been going on for a bit about food, and I don't want to end this conversation. But
until we eat.
But this episode has gone on for a bit.
Right.
So I'm going to call this one here, and we're going to do a part 2.
All right.
So thank you for watching or listening, I guess. And I hope you're hungry because we're going to do a part 2 and keep talking about more food and maybe something else. Not sure. But all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Geek.